Rob, thank you for joining us. Obviously an exciting game coming up this weekend as we face Shrewsbury. Can I get your thoughts out of that game?
Yeah, no, it's looking forward to it. I think first two games obviously in quick succession, third sort of finishing off the first sort of 9-10 days. But no, it's good. It'll be good to be at home, and it'll be good to sort of carry on sort of what we've been working on from Wickham in terms of where we're a bit more solid, and then sort of making sure we bring that attacking football and affecting the goal, which we did really well Tuesday, and it was good to see. I think the concepts and what we're asking the lads, which is slightly different, they're just starting to grasp, and I think hopefully with that we'll see a lot more freedom in the final third in terms of putting the ball in the box and putting the ball at risk. And like you said, it's not going to all be not just going to click and it'll be perfect on Saturday, but hopefully it's a step forward for us, and we just need to attack the game and like we would any game, and just and try and enjoy it and entertain and back ourselves, because we've got a lot of young players and we've got a lot of talented players. We need to back that talent.
Yeah, you've had a chance to see pretty much the entire squad now over the course of the last two games. Are you feeling sort of happy and content with the 11 for Saturday, or are you still having some sort of selection headaches?
No, definitely. I won't pick the team till after Friday, because you never know what happens. And I think what's been good is we've seen what the depth and quality of the squad is. And like I've said, I don't think it's going to be a case we'll have a strong 11 or a starting 11. It'll be the strength of the squad that defines us. So yeah, like we saw, the lads who come on Saturday helped us, and the lads definitely who come on Tuesday helped us. So yeah, it's a squad game. We need everyone to be switched on and alert, because ultimately, like you said, with the injuries had so far and internationals and suspensions, we're going to need everyone available as and when.
Yeah, and Shrewsbury, what do you make of them? Have you sort of watched a lot of them this week so far, or is that sort of a job for tomorrow and the game coming up on Saturday?
No, we've obviously watched a bit of them already since Tuesday, and no, they're a good team. I think they're very solid. They've got the option to go into a back five or a back four. They like to lock you up on their press, and they try and make it difficult for you. So we'll have to be aware of that. And they're very hard to break down. They're very much a counter-attacking team. So a bit like Tuesday, for all our strengths being in possession and wanting to get players higher up the pitch, they're very good in transition and counter-attacking. So in that sense, you can see why a lot of our games are open, and we need to make sure we get the lock-up right, and we also need to make sure we make good decisions in possession to push them back and limit the opportunities they get to counter.
Obviously 3 points is the aim of the game. Is there anything else you're sort of looking to take out of the game on Saturday? Is there sort of something performance related? We spoke a little bit about how we've got to get the performances right. So is there anything specific you'll be looking for the lads to show?
Yeah, there's a few things we spoke about this morning in the meetings and that, and I just think as long as I can see that, as long as I see the lads taking the information and trying to implement sort of the concepts and the processes we like to put in, then that'll be fine by me. And I genuinely believe that if we do that, we'll get the rewards in terms of the wins and the 3 points. What I don't want us to do is chase 3 points from the start of the game and lose our shape and structure, and then we fall into that trap and probably play into opposition hands. So we've got to understand that the team we are, we're a possession-based team that want to be able to put the ball at risk more in the final third in terms of crosses and runs and people using their ability to take people on, which is probably what we saw on Tuesday a lot more. But we also need to be a bit leaner and a bit more switched on in terms of our defensive actions, and because especially where we do go forward in such numbers, we put a lot of responsibility on the back lads, and we need to make sure as a group and as a team we're able to negate opposition as best as possible, and also understand ourselves more.
Yeah, and this would be a chance for you to sort of finally meet the Crawley fans as a whole, obviously an away match as your first one, and then obviously a slightly lower crowd on Tuesday night. So with the international weekend, we should be hoping for a big crowd at the Broadfield Stadium. So how much are you sort of looking forward to relishing that, and also what would your message be to them? Is it just sort of get behind the lads? They can have a massive impact, can't they? Yeah,
I don't think anything has to change from what I've seen. The fans have been absolutely brilliant this year, and I think they understand the task that's in front of us. And I think I just hope they just look forward to it and try and enjoy it the best they can. We've got a young team, inexperienced at this level, I suppose. It's going to be tough times, but you know what? I think we can see that the team's developing, getting better. We've got some really exciting individuals, and I think that when we do get flowing and get going, it's a brilliant place to play, and the atmosphere behind the goal. When we're attacking, especially second half on Tuesday, it got going, and for me personally and from the other coaching staff, has been a lovely welcome. And I thought the response after Wickham and after Tuesday was really positive with the fans, and I think we all understand where we're at. But it's something that I'm relishing and looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to seeing the players back themselves and seeing them play with freedom within the structure that we give them, because yeah, there is some exciting things here, and that's what fans want to see. Fans want to see us exciting, attacking football, and that does come at a cost. You do leave yourself open and stuff, but yeah, I think for me, my philosophy is we've got to back what we do over worrying about the opposition. We'll obviously do our reviews and we'll make sure we limit them as best as possible. We understand their strengths, but we want to concentrate on ourselves. We want to attack everything we can this year with our own within our own power, and back what we do more than anything.
Thanks. If you look at the league positions, obviously Saturday looks like a big game, and I've even seen some fans call it a 6-pointer already. I mean, it seems ridiculous this early in the season, but how important is it you and the players treat it just as any other game? That's
massively important. Look, every single game should have the same expectation to win. When you look at the league table, you play top of the league away or you play bottom of the league at home. There's that mindset that you think, well, we have to win or it's a free hit. Whereas for me, the development of this group and what we implement is that no matter what situation we're in, no matter who we play, where we play them, when we play them, that our mindset's the same. As we want to impose ourselves on the game and stay in control of what we want to be in control of all the moments, and we want to be able to back our shape, our system, our players against anyone. And that's what I'm looking forward to Saturday. Is I want to see the players, attack the game in every single possible way. I want to see them relish the challenge of this year, of being written off, being the underdogs, being whatever we might be, and relish it with no fear. Same with the fans. Just come to the game, enjoy watching these young players, watching people give everything. Because the one thing these lads do is they give absolutely everything, and they play good football, and we have some real good ability in the squad. So for me, it's something that's exciting and good to look forward to. And look, you lose a game, you lose 2 games, whatever it might have been previously, it doesn't change the whole landscape. We're still only in October, and there's still a lot to play for. And yeah, like you said, the one thing that goes past every single week is these players gain that experience of this level game understanding. So when it comes up again, second half of the season or next week, whenever it is, they're a bit better and a bit more savvy and a bit more aware of what's needed to be successful. And we'll just keep showing them, keep working with them, and keep that intensity.
And can you give us a squad update? We've seen obviously Knox to Joy and Charlie recently. Can you give us any updates on their availability?
No, Charlie got. It's one of them ones. It happens a lot in football, and it can be quite serious. So the doctors did the right thing in terms of he got sort of bashed in the eye, basically poked in the eye. He caught an elbow to the eye, but actually to his eyeball.
Right.
So there's lots of things you have to be really careful with that. So precaution, we had to come off, went to hospital, got the all clear, which is good. Joy's got a long going ankle issue that he's had, so we're just monitoring that to see how he is, and then otherwise we're pretty much where we were. So we'll just have to monitor a few leading up to the game, and we'll see. Like we said, that's why we don't think about the team selection too much till Friday afternoon, because like you say, you never know what happens, and we'll see where we're at come Saturday.
And can you give us an insight into your process into analysing an opposition? How much work goes into that, or is it mainly focused on what you're doing?
No, you have to watch the opposition 1,000,000%, because key individuals, consistent patterns of play, if we can give that information to the lads, then and we can prep them for it on the training pitch, then at least that way they have an understanding of what they're going to come up against. But ultimately, it's been the way at this club for especially the last 2-3 years, which is one of the reasons I'm here, is it's mainly about what we do, not what the opposition do. And I think that as long as you get that balance right, as in understanding their threats, understanding what they're going to try and do, how they're going to try and play, then we can negate that and concentrate on our strengths. Also, what I said to the boys is that because we are such a possession dominant team, and we move the ball really well, is teams may not do what they do normally against us. So then you can plan all week for teams to do X, Y, Z, and they change it on a Saturday, and all your work's gone to waste. So we just want to make sure that we cover as many bases as possible, so the lads have as much information as they need.
Cool. And we're still getting to know you, obviously. I just wondered if you could tell us who your sort of heroes and mentors are in terms of coaching, and is there any former coaches, managers that you turn to for a bit of advice here and there?
It's a weird one. As I suppose I probably look back, what I tend to do is reflect on sort of managers that I've had in the past for good and bad reasons. All managers have massive strengths, they have massive weaknesses, they're human beings, and I always try and look at what strengths I sort of bought into with certain people, and what weaknesses that I always felt that I would try to not have myself, but I'll have my own weaknesses, same as anyone else. But I think it's more a reflection of who I've worked with and how I've worked with them. I speak to Andy Woodman a lot, who was obviously my goalie coach, sort of mentor at Newcastle, and he's obviously managing at Bromley, done really well. So I speak to people like him who've maybe just had a bit more experience and stuff, and then really just being open and speaking to people, because you can learn from anyone in any walk of life. yeah, I think people have been in them situations before. You try and lean them a little bit and get advice, but you've also got to have fresh eyes and judge things as you see them, because you don't want to prejudge any person, you don't want to prejudge any situation. You've got to try and back your own beliefs and be firm with it, because if I get it right or I get it wrong, or we as a coaching team get it right or wrong, we can learn from it. If we don't sort of back ourselves, then we're never going to improve ourselves, because we're not standing here saying we've got the finished article. We're still learning, but there's things we believe in, non-negotiables, and we'll stick to them no matter what, and we'll work to get better at them. There's other things that we'll learn and adapt from.
Thanks, Rob. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Harry, thank you for joining us. Obviously a game against Shrewsbury coming up this weekend. How's the mood in the camp heading into that one?
Yeah, the mood's really good. All the lads had high spirits today in training, and it was obviously disappointing to lose the other night, but the fact that we kind of got the monkey off our back and scored a load of goals on Tuesday, we got so much confidence going into Saturday now.
Yeah, and for yourself, obviously coming back from injury, how have you found sort of the first couple of games back?
No, I've been delighted personally. It was a frustrating start to the season for me. Kept picking up little knocks, but now touchwood got to the bottom of things on that front, and just delighted to be back in the fold again.
Yeah, what was the feeling like at the start of the season for yourself? Because obviously you did a lot of pre-season, and was it just sort of multiple injuries that kept you out?
Yeah, it was just multiple little niggles. It was never massive complications in the body, but it was just these little things that just kept holding me back and halting my progress. But now, like I said, touchwood got to the bottom of them.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of change over the course of the time of your injury. Obviously Scott left us and we're in with Rob now. How's the sort of first couple of weeks been with him?
No, they've been really good. We've had a lot of meetings, and him and his team have been so detailed with us. There's not a single member of the squad that doesn't know their roles, in and out of possession. So, no, really detailed and really good, yeah.
Yeah, and there's not a great deal of change, I suppose, in the aspects of, what style we were playing before. So is it sort of a nice changeover as a player when you feel like it's a relief almost that you don't have to sort of learn a whole new system?
100%, yeah. The transition has been so smooth where, both the managers' philosophies have been so similar. But it's just a few tweaks here and there to hopefully put us in good stead for the rest of the season.
Yeah, obviously we spoke about the mood heading into the weekend. What's the mood been like as a whole? Because obviously you would have seen two aspects of it, obviously from the sidelines. Because it must be frustrating where we've dominated so many games, but we haven't won a game since Cambridge in the league. So is it a feeling of frustration, or is there a sense of calm on the basis that we know the performance is there and the results is sort of just round the corner?
Exactly that. You know what? It's a bit of both. I mean, obviously we're all hugely frustrated for it, not to be going our way at the minute, but we've just got to trust the process, because it's not like in these games we've been, battered off the park. We've had so many good performances where, it could have gone either way. I just think we just got to get more shots off, and then the results will come, because we're controlling so many of the games. It's just only a matter of time really before it all starts clicking.
Perfect. Mark.
Thanks. Harry, obviously you've seen a lot of change in the summer with the squad and everything. How impressed have you been how quickly they've sort of gelled?
No, 100%. Yeah, I mean it was very similar last year when I first came in as well. A massive overhaul last year, and look what happened at the end of that. We got promoted at the end of the season. So it's something that the owners obviously do, and we've got to trust them, and they've got to trust us to produce on the pitch.
Yeah, and I spoke to Ronan Darcy after the game on Saturday, and he said it's so close to being an unbelievable team. Do you agree with that? Yeah.
That's it. Like I said a minute ago, it's just these tiny little margins, and that's football. But once those little margins do start clicking for us, then the sky's the limit for this team, because the performance has been so good. It's just that tiny little bit where we're lacking, maybe in front of goal, maybe the most important thing in football is how good you are in the two boxes. But once again, like I say, that all starts clicking, then we'll be flying.
Yeah, and obviously when you've had your injuries and that out for quite a while, how important is the supporting of your teammates and that around you? Exactly
that. I mean, the lads have been unbelievable. They've been brilliant with me. So is the manager, just giving me a little bit of time and just to get up to full speed. I mean, I'm feeling really good now, really fit, and credit to the manager and the lads for helping me with that.
And you're pleased with how you've performed so far, and there's still more to come from you though.
Oh no, there's a lot more to come, but I'm just happy to be back on the pitch, and the performances will be building for sure. Trust me.
Brilliant, thanks, Aaron. Cheers.
Cheers.